everything you need to know about creating B2B video for YouTube. Now, for some of our clients in the B2B space, we managed to get them millions of views on their videos, but more importantly, we're able to increase their leads and sales exponentially by creating video for YouTube. And in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how you should approach creating B2B video content on YouTube so you get more likes and followers, but more importantly, you actually get leads and sales out of it. Because creating video, even with the help of AI, is no mean feat. It is a very time-intensive process, and it is getting quicker, but it's still time-intensive, and it takes up your time as well. And if your time is being taken up by creating video, that means that you're not doing other things in your business. So you want to make sure that the time you take to actually create video is well spent and is actually giving you leads and sales and isn't just another task that you're completing week in, week out. So the first thing you need to be aware of when it comes to creating video for B2B is that you are not chasing followers and likes. You are wanting leads and sales, and it's always good to remember that when it comes to video creation is the reason that you are doing it is to get more leads and sales. So you might think to yourself, well, if I have more followers, then I naturally get more leads and sales, but that is not true. In fact, sometimes having a big follower count is the antithesis of leads and sales, because often what we find is when creators try and build a big audience, that audience isn't right. So in the B2B space, what we find is that a lot of content creators that have a lot of followers but don't get many leads and sales is because their content at a beginner level audience. So an audience, for example, that want to know how you do what you do it for themselves and not hire you to do it. So that is where it's great to look at it and think, oh, I've got this many followers, but if you're not getting leads and sales out of it, it's just a vanity project. So you really need to make sure when it comes to video, you come at it thinking, okay, how can this give me more leads and sales in my business? And also remember, you don't have to go viral to make leads and sales. And in fact, in B2B, and particularly for us, for example, we sell, services that cost thousands of pounds per month. And it's important to remember that often if you're in B2B, you don't need that many sales. So for us, we've got 2 sales this year from creating video. We haven't got many followers on YouTube. We haven't got that many huge amounts of likes, but we've made 2 sales from it. And because we charge thousands of pounds per month, that means that we're getting a huge ROI from video creation. And it's the same with our clients. They might not get millions of views, although some of them do, but they might not always get millions of views, but they're getting sales from it. And it doesn't matter because you're not selling a product at £30. If you're selling a product at thousands, you only need very few people to buy. So if your videos are aimed at them, then that's a good thing. And you will get leads and sales from it, even if it doesn't feel like you've got a massive follower count. So first up, one of the biggest questions we get when it comes to B2B video content for YouTube is, should I do long form video or short form video, and what's the difference between the two? Well, long form video is essentially video like this. It is longer than 5 minutes or so, and it more goes in depth on a topic. And what you'll find is the people that watch your long form videos are much more engaged with you and they're more likely to buy. So I think every client that we've had in the past 6 months or so has watched long form videos from us. So they've consumed that content and they've consumed quite a few different videos. They've really got to understand who we are and how we work and what we talk about. And they've really been kind of connected to us in that way. Now, short form video is slightly different. Short form video is usually less than 1 minute and it is more sort of, entertaining. It can get you a lot more followers. It gets us a lot more views when we post our short form video. But typically those people don't always come and buy. They can follow you. And if they go on to watch your long form video, that's a good thing. Our short form video is always kind of designed to get people to go on to watch our long form video. And that's kind of how we work it. But essentially that's the difference between the two. Now, if you're in B2B, what I would advise you to do is start with long form video first. And it might be really tempting to start with short form because you might think, well, less than a minute, that's easier. But actually it's not easier. It's actually more difficult to get what you need to say in under 60 seconds than it is to do a long form video and really explore a topic. So that's the first thing. But the second thing is that you can always create short form video from your long form video. So if you're smart about it and you plan well in advance your long form video topics and how they're all structured, you can get short form video content out of it. And for every long form video, we get approximately 10 short form videos out of it. So it is really, really worth starting with long form first and then you can chop it up and create short form content out of it. The second thing to remember is that your content should be incredibly valuable. So for every single video that you put out, you should be putting out really interesting content, really referring to your own experiences. Like I have in this video, I've talked about what we do here at Jammy and how we put content out, how we maybe have fewer followers, but that's okay. We've got some sales from it, and that's what makes the ROI so good. All of that is very personalized content to me. It's not something that someone else could copy, and it really gives you an insight into us and our stories. So incorporating that into your video content is incredibly powerful. So make sure you have stories in there, your own unique methodologies, anecdotes, case studies where you say, you know, this is how I got a client from here to here. Anything that's about you, that's personal to you and no one else could copy, include that in your video content, because that is what will make it stand out from everyone else out there. So you want to make sure that you include that in your video content, and you will get more leads and sales from it, because people will recognize this is brand new information, I'm learning something really good here, and they'll be much more likely to have a connection with you. The third thing to remember is that you don't just have to record this kind of content. So this is very purposeful video content. I am sat in front of a camera and I'm speaking to you from a video that I've already planned out. Now that's very purposeful video content, but it's not the only video content that you can create. You can also repurpose, you know, a speaking gig that you've had. You know, you can actually create that and send that out on YouTube. You can also repurpose a webinar you've done or a podcast interview. You can use all of these different formats for video. And what you need to do is, if you've got a lot of different types of video format, is just make sure that you're not just posting one type for like an entire month. So don't just post like podcast interviews for an entire month and then go to this kind of format. Just mix it up. So every week it's something slightly different, just to keep your audience kind of really engaged and not used to seeing the same thing. So different formats, don't worry too much about that. People often think that they have to use the same format for video. You really, really don't. And in fact, mixing it up can be incredibly useful, because not only are you repurposing a lot of video you might have already done, but you're also keeping your audience engaged and using those different formats every single week. The fourth thing to remember when you're creating B2B video content for YouTube is that you need to mention what it is that you do. You'll notice in every video that we put out and our clients put out, they don't sell. They don't say, hey, I'm a video marketing agency, come hire us. We don't say that, although I've very subtly said that then. But what they do and what we do is we constantly mention what we're doing. So I constantly remind people, you know, for our clients, we do this, for our clients, we do that. And that's because I'm trying to teach through an example, which is incredibly useful for our audience, but I'm also reminding our audience what it is that we do. Every single video reminds people what it is that I do for a living and how I can help them, because I'm using those examples in every single one. I remind someone in every single video what it is that I do for our clients and how we help and the results that we've got. I don't do it in a salesy way, and I do it in a helpful way. And this is what can be incredibly powerful when you're creating B2B video content, is you're just subtly reminding people what it is that you do, and then you become very known for that. When people start watching more and more of your content, it starts sinking in, oh, that person does this. And it's not salesy or spammy at all. It's just very, very natural. And the fifth and final thing to remember is to create a consistent video publishing schedule. So what I mean by that is that you really have to commit to a very simple schedule that is realistic for you. Now, if you're anything like me, you just like to come up with unrealistic goals and think, okay, I can publish 3 long form video a week and do 10 shorts a week. And it's just not realistic, because you really don't have time for that. So what happens is you create a month of video, you do really well, and then you burn out and then you stop. And it's better to actually come at it slower and do it more realistically and for longer than it is to just go all in the beginning. So you need to understand exactly how often you're going to post and when you're going to post and what it's going to be. So for example, you could do one long form video that goes out, and it has to go out at the same time every week. So it could be a Monday morning every week. I'm going to do a long form video, and then I'm going to do short form video on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's absolutely fine. Just make sure you stick to that every single week. And the best way to work out how exactly you can put that together is just look at the team that you have and the time that you have. If you're doing this completely by yourself, so you've got your phone, you're editing yourself, you're managing YouTube yourself, you're planning the videos yourself and, you know, doing the recording, then, you know, you're probably limited on time unless you can dedicate hours to it every single day. Even with AI and the help of AI, it still takes quite a lot of time to manage video. But if you do have a team as well that can help you plan the video, that can help you with editing, that can help you manage YouTube, you know, add in the titles, add descriptions, design thumbnails, all that kind of thing that takes time, then that frees you up so you can realistically probably do more video in any given week. So just think about the schedule, be realistic, make sure you have a clear plan of who is doing what and those processes in place, and make sure you stick to it. And above all, make sure you stick not only to a publishing schedule, but also a promotion schedule as well. So for every long form video that goes out, we send an email to our list to say, we've just published this video, this is what it's about, and we get those people automatically over to watching that video, which always helps the algorithm. So make sure that you have a promotion schedule in place. We also post on our short form video on LinkedIn, we post it on Instagram. You know, you can put all this process in place when you have a really realistic video schedule and a way to promote it as well. So there you have it. That's everything you need to know about B2B video on YouTube. I would love to know in the comments below which point you liked the best. Just let me know. And if you liked this video, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you'll be notified the next time we release a video.